Hi all, today I'm going to look at a year review of the Miyoo Mini, a great little console I'm sure all of you have heard of. I've had this little device for around a year, and I've always been meaning to review it, but the issue with me is kind of device overload. So when the Miyoo Mini Plus was announced, I went and got me one of these, which is the RG35XX, and as you can see it's still kind of boxed up. That's because I kind of went and got too many gadgets at once. I also have here the Playdate console with the little crank, which I've developed I think about 5 games for. Cool system to develop for. Also, of course, this is kind of what took over from the Miyoo Mini, which is the Steam Deck. Love this thing, love it for emulation, love it for gaming. Like everyone else, I have a stupendous Steam library, and my latest little gadget to arrive is this thing here, which is years old. This is a pocket chip, because I also develop a few Pico 8 games, so my plan is to make a video with this device where I develop from scratch a game just using this device. We'll see how that goes. So let's move these out of the way and have a look at this thing. Yeah, really tiny. Whoever I've shown this to, they just fall in love with it. It is the size of a pack of cards. It's amazing in that respect. I probably wouldn't go doing like I don't know, platformers, kind of heavy on button use games, because it does get quite cramped, and I didn't think that would happen with me, but no, your fingers do get quite cramped because it's quite a small area. So I found RPGs were probably best on this, your kind of card battle games. If you do somehow come across one of these, which they're very hard to come by now because they've ceased production, they've gone on to the Miyoo Mini Plus, I believe, which is the size of the Ambinic RG35XX. This was kind of the competitor to it, but I didn't want to get the Miyoo Mini Plus because people are inflating their prices straight off, and it was the same with this device. I kind of luckily got it just when the inflation started, so I probably only paid about 20 over the asking price. And the first thing I did was, as you can see, I went and installed Garlic OS, because it's just so much better than the stock firmware. I'm trying to find out what version of Garlic I'm on. I don't think I'm on the latest version because I haven't updated this in about 3 months, I'd say. But we can look at some of the kind of settings here. Like it looks like it's a 1.2 gigahertz processor, and you've got 128 meg of RAM, quite small, but this thing can play all the way up to PS1. I've put my emulators in order, name order. You can sort this to be by year. I think that's the default. And I've went and installed far too many games, probably, I don't know, but about 20,000, which I don't recommend anymore. I'm kind of going for smaller ROM sets, which I'll actually play, because you kind of get lost in, you know, you're going to Sega CD and you're like 225 games. Yeah, you kind of don't know what to play. Like if I went into Specchia, it's ridiculous. Look at that, 5,300. It's nuts. But yeah, PS1, you can do many Many cool games. I think it's only like Ape Escape that needs the analog stick. That's the issue. Let's put a bit of Matt Hoffman on. Sadly, I don't think I can put the sound on because of copyright, but we'll do a little single session of Matt Hoffman. The screen is quite nice. What I found with my model is I do have quite a bit of bleed at the bottom. I've never really liked these back buttons. They're very loose, very shaky. This back panel can come off so easily. I've had little drops, and this has just come off, and the battery's just flying out of it. I had a few issues initially with earlier versions of Garlic OS where I actually had to unplug the battery to get it to work again, so I have had crashes that bad. But it's a joy, the fact that you can put it in your pocket, take it anywhere because it's so small. You can't do that with the Steam Deck. With the Steam Deck, I don't even want to carry it in my bag sometimes because it's just so big and so cumbersome to take out, even though it's a great machine. But it feels like it's a handheld for using at home, which is weird, where this, you can just slip it in a pocket and use it wherever you like. And the battery is good. I'd say for a good 5-6 hours of battery life on this thing. And there you go. Let's bring this a bit closer to the screen. Yeah, I have not played Matt Hoffman in years. I kind of only tried this game out because, you know, love Tony Hawk, so kind of something to tide you over while you wait for the next Tony Hawk's game. Hey, he landed that. Okay, let's see what else we can play. Pico 8's a good one. SNES, of course. I'll always play Mario. What I do like about the latest version of, well, this isn't the latest version, but this version of Onion OS is you have a search feature. It was very difficult initially because there was no search feature, and you had to go through and favourite, especially when you've got 20,000 games on here. You need to favourite what you think you're going to play. But now with the search feature, I can just go in and let's go for Mario. There's going to be a ton of these things now. Let's do Mario World. $1,700 games, you wouldn't think. Let's see what actually comes up. The speaker I find is quite good for the games you're playing. Of course you can plug in headphones. Sadly it doesn't have Bluetooth. That would have been really cool. I do think the new Miyoo Mini Plus does, and that's also meant to have Wi-Fi, so with the new version you can do retro achievements, and I think there's going to be some kind of online play is the last thing that I heard. That looks like there's, yeah, tons of different versions. Probably hacks that I downloaded and forgot about. But yeah, this was one of my favourite games. I don't know how many times I've finished this game. It's just so much fun. There we go. Well, I'm not a speedrunner or anything. They did used to have a Saturn emulator on here, but it just doesn't work. San 3DO, sadly, yeah, not great. There are a few arcade games that you can't really play, but most of the ones you're kind of looking for from, I'd say, up to the late 90s, usually playable if they're not 3D. Your classics like Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, stuff like that play brilliantly. I do like just playing on the arcade games because you can just keep putting in more credits, and you know, it doesn't matter how many times you die. I would love to like build a little cabinet in the side, a little arcade cabinet with maybe a few beer holders. I think that would be really cool for when friends come round. Okay, I think this is credits. I'll just go for the main guy for now. I used to love playing this game in the arcades. Just beat 'em ups were the thing back then. You'd either play one-on-one like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, or it would be a beat 'em up like this for us growing up, which was quite cool. You'd kind of fight over who'd get the barrels and who'd get the food. But yeah, it's quite nice to play, and because you don't have to worry about, you know, how many lives you have, you can kind of take it easy, and if your fingers get cramped up, you can just press a button or do this special move. But yeah, I do recommend RPGs and stuff for this one. I will get the latest version of Garlic OS on here and see what the features are, and I might update this if I find there's anything cool on there, any new features. But yeah, this is me for now. If there's any of the other devices that you saw that you'd like me to review or look at, or anything specific, please let me know. And yeah, this is the Miyoo Mini, a really cool console, a few little niggles here and there, but yeah, it really is a cool little device. And that's me, out and out.